And what's the process like of you writing your music? Do you have inspiration that comes from somewhere or
Usually it's usually about like a personal experience. Like for if these walls could talk, I talk about my grandparents' house and what it would be like if it could talk to us and like share the experiences that we've all shared in that house. So I don't usually write about things that aren't personal to me.
and that's going to be a major platform release, right? It's not going to be a SoundCloud release. It's going to be
Yeah, my first one, yeah.
what's that like? Is it nerve wracking or
Yeah, really,
yeah?
really nerve wracking because I'm doing things that I never had to do before when I released stuff onto SoundCloud. So,
And what was that process like? Because doing it for the first time, I know it can be quite because all the questions you need to fill out, all the hoops you need to jump through. Did you find it difficult?
at first, yes, because I had to find like the distributor and stuff like that, and kind of like which one I wanted to go with and how I wanted to approach it. But so far, it's been all right. So,
What distributor did you go with, if you don't mind me asking?
I think it's CD Baby.
Yeah. And you're from Boston, right?
Yes.
What's the music scene there like?
Um, quite honestly, I'm not really sure. I know that Boston, like in the heart of Boston, has a lot of different opportunities for gigs and stuff, but I don't really think outside has much. And I'm outside of Boston, so it's.
Hey, Stephanie, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Let's start with where it all began. What made you want to start writing music and singing?
Definitely ever since I was a little kid, like listening to my parents' music, that really inspired me to sing. But I think writing my own songs was more like me discovering artists that I love, like Holly Humberstone, Phoebe Bridgers.
And what did you start playing first? Guitar,
Piano.
piano. And did you do lessons for that?
At first, yeah, and then it was like too hard. Like I just struggled with it so much, so I left. And then I just like eventually taught myself.
And what was that process like? Did you find that easier or difficult?
I think it was easier because I just like kind of did chords and stuff like that, and I could experiment on my own and I didn't have to like follow what a teacher told me to do.
And you're kind of an aspiring artist at the moment and you're coming up through the ranks. What are some things you've learned on your progression?
It's not as easy as I thought it would be. Like it doesn't just like magically happen one day, and um like when you start out, like it's just you and
Yeah.
have to learn basically everything by
What
yourself.
what's been the hardest part?
I would say like learning how to record my music and like learning what fits my voice best and all that type of stuff. I didn't really have any idea how to do it when I first started.
And how's the support from family and friends?
It's really great. They're
Yeah.
awesome. They've always supported me. Like when I was younger, I'd do talent shows and they were always there. So that really means a lot.
And what was it like doing your first talent show with, was it your own original or was it a cover
No,
or
I
did you not sing?
like no, I sang. I was
Yeah.
in like second grade and I sang a Celine Dion song. And it was really scary.
Did the crowd respond well?
As far as I remember, yes.
Yeah. And have you performed in front of a crowd since?
Yeah, I actually had my first like gig performing like my own stuff and covers July 4th, which is our Independence Day.
And what
Um,
what was that like?
It was really fun, actually. I was really nervous at first, but I got used to it. And it was like a music and arts festival. So it wasn't like people were like sitting down, like just to see me. There was like a bunch of other stuff going on. So it was good.
A gig's a gig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it paid?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
actually, which I was really surprised. And I
Yeah. Wow.
didn't want just for that, you know?
And have you worked with any artists or anyone else, or have you just been solely working on your own stuff?
No, it's just me, but
Yeah.
I'm really open to
And
working.
just going through your music, it's not my personal taste. It's great. I love it. But would you ever be open to putting drums behind it or a beat?
Absolutely.
Or yeah.
Yeah, anything. I'm open to anything.
Yeah. Um, what programs do you use to record, and what's that like?
I use GarageBand
Okay.
and I don't know, it's I guess, but I'm not really good at like computer stuff, I guess. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with, but it's all right.
No, we all start somewhere. And what keyboard do you use?
It's just like it's a Yamaha like
Yeah.
electric keyboard.
And have you figured out how to connect? Because I heard you in another interview that you struggle to connect your keyboard to your computer and software. Have you figured that out? Yeah.
Yep, it's
do you
all
find
set.
do you find it much easier and better?
Yeah, because I've gotten a lot of complaints. I don't really listen to myself back. Like, I don't really listen to myself, but some people have said that they can hear like keyboard clicks, like the
Mhm.
plastic keys. And so, no more complaints on that. So,
Would you find it difficult to get gigs being such a young age? Because you're only 15, right? Yeah.
yes. Um, that like my first gig on July 4th was really the only one that I had tried to get.
Mhm.
I've been really nervous about it, but now that I have like my first one under my belt, I think that I'm going to be good. But I don't really know.
Did anything happen that kind of threw off the day, like something wouldn't connect, or you know, the microphone cut out, or something that just threw you off, but you still push
Yeah,
through?
so I was supposed to go second. So it was only me and this other performer who was supposed to go on, and so he was supposed to go first and third, and I was supposed to go on second. And then I think he got stuck in traffic, and so he didn't show up at his set time. So they were like, "Oh, okay, like you can just go." And I was like, "Oh boy." It worked out well. I was
and
glad to go first, get it over with, you know.
and how long was that set?
It's about I think it was a half an hour.
Oh wow! So you have a back catalog of music, or did you play all your release stuff?
No, I played a couple unreleased stuff, and then I did some covers too.
And how have you felt um because you'd have fans and stuff by now, right? Because you've also got Bandcamp.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
and a lot of people on Instagram too.
do you have people reaching out to you saying that your music's great and it's inspiring?
Yeah, there are some, and it's like really weird for me to say that because usually I'm the one saying that to people, and so it's like a really like a full 360 moment.
And how do you balance music, life, school, and friends? Like, how do you balance all that? Do you have a schedule?
Not really.
No.
It was a lot easier during COVID because I was doing online school because we were really bad in Massachusetts for a while. So I was home all the time. So it was so easy for me to just like get out of class and write stuff and record. So we'll see with the new school year how that's gonna be.
And if you could pack up and leave to pursue your music career, where would you go? Any place in the world?
New York.
New York, really?
New York City,
I could see that. It's very jazzy and
yeah.
melodic down there, I guess.
Yeah, I
Because
love it there.
I'm here in Australia, and so I don't know much about New York and the cultures and stuff that are over there, except for what I see and hear. So,
Mhm.
what part of New York makes you want to go there?
I just love how it's so different from where I live now. Like I like it's not really a small town that I live in, but like compared to New York City, it definitely is. And I love how it's like they always say it's like a place for dreamers, and I think that that's super cool.
And you did touch on the meaning behind your new song that's coming out on the 23rd of July, off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
Hmm.
If these walls could talk, is there anything else behind it other than your grandparents' house?
Not really. It was just like they they've been talking for a while, like they're getting older and they've been talking about moving out of the house and selling it. And I just thought like what that would mean for me because it's been such a safe place for me all of my life. And so I kind of just thought like as we were all growing up in the house, like the house was growing up with us and it was kind of like what it would say to us.
And have they heard the song yet?
Yeah, I did. I played
Yeah.
it for them like a month ago and they were actually really impressed.
And if you had anything to say to someone who wanted to pursue music like yourself, do you have any tips?
I'd say just go for it. Like, even if you think like, oh, you don't have like the right setup or anything, just try your best because you'll learn so much along the way. It's so worth it.
And what can we expect from you in the future?
Just some new music. I wrote 2 songs today, and I don't know, I might trash them, but whatever. We'll see how it goes. And I know it's July, but some Christmas songs maybe.
Yeah, because you dropped a Christmas cover album or EP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did. That was really fun.
What was the process like? Why? Why would you like? Why?
I've always just loved like Christmas music in particular. Like maybe that's cheesy or whatever, but I just really I think it's sort of like how you're only supposed to listen to it like one time a year. Like I think that that whole kind of concept behind it makes it fun. And I literally recorded those 4 songs in like 2 days because I had announced that it was going to be an EP and I was just going to put like 2 songs on there and just call it an EP. And then I got a lot of like buzz for it. So I was like, all right, we'll put 4 songs on there.
So you put up a post before the EP was even made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ambitious.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, yeah.
um, and how are your friends? Like, are they supportive? Like, I know your family's supportive, but how are your friends?
They're super supportive. Like
Yeah.
they're always sharing my stuff to their Instagram and I just wouldn't be able to do it without them. So
Do you have any haters?
I don't think so.
No.
Not not people who have like made it clear that they hate my music or they hate me. I'm sure I probably have some, but
And what about the rest of the kids at school? Because it's a big school?
it's a really big school. Like I'm in high school and we start in 8th grade,
Okay.
which is not normal for people in America. And it's really big. I don't know. I don't know what they like would think of it. I don't really care to be honest.
If there was a talent show there, say this week, or say your school's back and there was a talent show, would you perform in front of the whole school?
That's I think it depends on the day. Like what I would say, like it depends on different times. Sometimes I'd be like, yeah, for sure, like why not? And then sometimes I'd be like, oh my god, no, like I don't want to embarrass myself in front of people. So maybe.
Maybe. And if you could work with one artist, dead or alive, who would it be?
Ooh. Um, Phoebe Bridgers, because honestly, I just love her vibe and how she can make anything her own. And I think that that's so cool. And I'd love to learn how to do that.
Is she alive or is she?
She's alive,
'Cause
very much alive. Yeah,
yeah, because I have no
yeah.
idea who that is. I'm not gonna try go, oh yeah, no, that's great. I have no idea who that is.
You should definitely look
Yeah.
into her. She's really good.
Is she an acoustic player as well? Because are you an acoustic player? No. What? How would you describe your sound?
I I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that she does like all different stuff, indie, folk.
And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I try to ask myself this question like all the time. I honestly like I don't know. Like I know that I still want to be doing music, but like as far as like uploading music and stuff like that, I don't know. I do want to be like in New York or something, just out of my town that I'm in right now. So
Just anywhere but there. Yeah.
yeah, no offense or anything, but I'm gonna get some hate for that.
I'm assuming it's a town that, everyone knows everybody.
Pretty much, even though it's big, I feel like that's like how it is. Yeah.
And if you could learn one thing to help your process, what would it be?
Hmm. I would say like I want to be better at guitar.
Yeah.
Like just like be able to play like pretty much like anything that I hear, like cover anything, because I think it's such a beautiful instrument and I'm so mad that I cannot play it well.
But people could probably say the same about piano, because that's not easy to learn.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Um, when would you say you've made it? So say you pursued this. At what point in your music career would you say, I've made it?
Hmm. Um, Probably when I get like how different artists share like what they're listening to on their Instagram and stuff like that. Like if like John Mayer or somebody like posted that he was listening to me on on his Instagram, I think that that would be like, yep, I did
That's
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So even if you weren't making millions of dollars, just as long as that happened.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Recognition from John Mayer.
And you've only been doing it for a short amount of time, but have you ever thought about just stopping doing school and then just getting a job?
Yeah, for sure. Because I was thinking about this the other day because like I want to go to college and I see so many people who do music and like they don't go to college, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but like for me as a personal goal I do want to go and I don't want it to get in the way of that. So
And just from the outside perspective, I know college is pretty big for you guys over there. So how would your parents take it if you turned around and said, I'm going to pursue music full time and not go to college?
I think they would be supportive, but probably like say, are you sure? Like and they probably ask me to go to college for music. That's what I'm
And
assuming.
and what is a college you want to get into? I don't want to jinx it because I know it's a big thing over there.
It is, it is. I don't really know. Like I know people usually have like their dream schools and stuff like that. I'll just be grateful to get into like a good school.
Um,
Someplace in New
in New York, yeah,
Yeah.
nice and close.
Hmm.
Anywhere out of that town, I assume.
Yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, run me through the process of the schooling and how that works. Because over here in Australia, we have from like year 1 to 6 and then 7 to 12. What's it like over there?
It's so you go to preschool, which I
Yeah.
don't think is mandatory here. I don't really know, but I went to preschool. And then it's kindergarten through fourth grade.
Mhm.
Some places do it different, but for me it was kindergarten through fourth grade. And then fifth grade through seventh grade, and then eighth grade through 12th.
Okay. And then college.
Yeah.
And what age do you go to college at over there?
I think 18. I think I'll be 18 when I go to
Okay.
college.
So it's still kind of the same as it is over here. I was just curious,
Yeah.
because I never really had the opportunity to ask someone going to school over there. And, you know, so I was just curious myself. That wasn't even a question I had, which is,
Yeah, no, sorry.
um, do you feel like your age limits you to doing things music wise?
Um, Probably, yeah, sometimes because I can't just like get up and drive to a studio, I need my parents to do it for me, and then, feeling unsafe in a place that you've never been before, sort of that too. So, yeah.
And other than your future release on the 23rd, what else can we expect from you in the future?
I don't really have anything planned. I kind of just want to see how this goes, being my first release. But after that, if I decide that this is like really what I want to do, definitely an EP.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Straight off the bat, EP.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you go to a studio professionally for that, or would you still just home studio it?
I do want to go to a
Mhm.
studio. I have like a couple in mind that I could go to now that I've like talked to some people. Um, so yeah, we'll see.
Making the connections?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it hard making connections?
Yeah, I only really have like one or two, and like there's not many places near me that are like studios and stuff like that.
And what's a process like of making a song? So, like, when you sit down, do you start thinking about what you've been through, or like,
Yeah, usually I have an idea in my head, and I'll sit down at the piano. Usually I think my songs work best if I have the lyrics already, and then I sit down at the piano and kind of like scroll through my notes to find like some set of lyrics, because I don't think I do well when I write lyrics and then I have like the the song in my head, like the whole like pattern of it, and I'm like I can't like figure this out on piano.
mm,
So I think I need to get the piano piece done first.
okay, so you make the music and then you sit down and write?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then on a good day, how long do you think it'll take to make a song?
Not usually long.
No.
If I get interrupted, it would probably take like 15 minutes.
Do you find yourself singing everywhere you go, just like in your head or slightly out loud, and people think you're a little bit crazy?
Definitely in my
Yeah.
head all the time. There is always a song in my head. And there's like, it's like once a week where I get a song and I'm like, who sings this? What is this song? And it takes me like a full week to figure it out.
And what song are you listening to at the moment? Like, what are the kids listening to at the moment?
Um, to be honest, I don't know what they're listening to, but Claro, do you know Claro?
Nah.
Oh, she's really good. Well, she just released an album today, and so I've just been listening to that on repeat.
And Netflix or Disney Plus?
Netflix.
Yeah. What are you watching on Netflix?
I just finished Community. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yeah. Binge watched
Yeah,
the whole thing. It was great.
it's so great.
I'm sad it's over.
I know.
Um, what's your favorite food?
Um, I'm Italian, so we always have like pasta, but good pasta. Has to be like maybe like Alfredo sauce or something like that.
And geez, I'm out of questions. If you could say one thing to your ever-growing fan base, what would it be?
Hmm. Um, Probably just like stick with me, even if I'm like not always posting music and I'm not always as active. still alive and I'm still making music, even if it doesn't seem like that. So just stick with me.
And I'll put you on record. How many new songs can we expect before the end of the year?
Ooh, before the end of the year. So that's like it's a couple of months.
About 5 months.
Yeah. Maybe four.
4.
I don't know. Yeah. When EP out. I don't know. Never
and
know.
and what do you have to say to people who aren't following you?
Um, like that's okay.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to my music and you don't like it, that's all right. So good for
Um,
you.
being from America, I do have to ask, have you had or
Mm,
tried Vegemite?
no,
No.
I've heard of it, but never tried it.
And if you could bring one thing from Australia, I don't know how much you know of Australia, but if you could take one thing, what would it be?
Oh my God, we're very poorly educated in the United States about other countries.
Yeah, you're not
Um,
the first person to say that. I have interviewed a few other Americans, and the idea of kangaroos. Uh,
oh my God, because that was the first thing that came to mind for me. Kangaroo, but koalas, right?
yeah,
Which I'm pretty sure we have koalas in zoos, but like that's sad. So
the
like
zoos are
free
sad,
koala.
or yeah, freak wild.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just like do they just like in the forest or
yeah, they're just out. I think
oh,
off the top of my head, they are endangered, so the zoos aren't too bad. But I do know they're also aggressive.
oh, really? So
Yeah.
they're not as like nice as they look.
No, have you seen them at the zoo?
I think so. I'm pretty sure we have them in zoos.
I,
They look
I also think I've been told that they're riddled with chlamydia and diseases. So,
oh boy. You
yeah,
might want
so
to change.
you can have it. I'm curious to know, what have they taught you about Australia over there?
Literally nothing. Like I don't learn much. I mean, I've only completed freshman year of high school, so I mean maybe that's why, but mostly it's like just like American American history and like ancient Rome and stuff like that. That's what it is. So
Yeah,
really not.
because you guys are pretty close-minded. Again, from outside perspective, I feel like you guys are America. Like we only learn about ourselves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the quotation marks, what were they? I do have to ask.
Yeah, that's because, we claim it's like American history and the
Hmm.
American history starts in like 1776. And it's like, no,
Hmm.
that obviously isn't the case. So, yeah, very poorly educated.
And if you could change one thing in America, what would it be?
Only one thing?
One thing.
Oh boy. Then, as we're talking about it, definitely like what we learn in school, like the
Yep.
whole curriculum, because I feel like it's very outdated.
And do you have any conspiracies?
Ooh, conspiracies.
'Cause I know you guys are
Like,
big on that as well.
yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it's a bad thing. Um, but just about like anything.
Yeah. You're like, if you have, do you have a conspiracy like that?
All right. Are you familiar with Chuck E. Cheese?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So there's this conspiracy that when you buy pizza at Chuck E. Cheese and you don't finish it and you just leave it at the table, they take the pieces that you've left and they put them like with other pieces that other people have left and they make a pizza out of that. And I think that's a pretty accurate one.
Is it that bad, or is it like
I mean, I haven't been there in a long time, but like from my memory and from pictures that I've seen on the internet, yeah.
Is that just because the pizzas just disappear? Are they in your house? Like, I have so many questions.
It's like they put the slices of pizza together. Like it doesn't look like somebody like made the whole pizza and then they cut it.
Mhm.
You know, it's like the pieces don't match up.
Oh, I get you. So yeah, they just take bits and pieces and just throw it together, and
Yeah.
it doesn't make a complete circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone needs to go back to school. Um, how was COVID like for you? Because you did homeschooling, but was it bad over there in Boston? Because I know it was bad everywhere in the States, but
Yeah, for a while it was really bad. I feel like we started off and we were pretty good. Like we saw it happening at other places and then all of a sudden like the toilet paper started disappearing and the hand sanitizer. And we were like, oh, like everybody is like blowing this out of proportion. And then it hit us and my school closed for like a week. And then they were like, oh, we're closed until April. And then we're closed for the rest of the year. Like it was just one thing after the other and everything was closed besides like grocery stores and stuff like that.
and how did you stay sane? You know, because you couldn't go anywhere. Like,
Yeah, for a while it was really stressful and I was just doing school, doing music and like working out. But I definitely think music helped me so much.
and what is your favorite song from your discography?
Oh boy. I tend to hate the songs that I write after, especially when I record them because I sing them so much to get the recording. But I really do like If These Walls Could Talk because I feel like it's so personal to me.
Yeah. And is there going to be a music video to that? Do you think you'll ever muster up a music video?
I had an idea for one when I first wrote the song, but then I was like, you know what? I felt like it was just going to take too long and I just wanted to put it out there. So, maybe in the future. Never know.
Even just kicking your grandparents out of their house for an hour as you walk around, just
Yeah,
slowly pan your camera around, you know?
make a home video. Yeah.
um, yeah, no, I'm out of questions. Do you have anything you would like to add?
I don't know if you can hear that like through my speakers, but it just started pouring and it was like thundering for a good like 10 minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
That's New England weather though. It just like changes up so quick. It was sunny like 20 minutes ago.
You know, that happened here yesterday. It just out of nowhere, thunderstorm, hail, and then just sunny again.
Yeah,
Global warming, is it a myth or is it real?
it's real.
Yeah. I have to ask because it's very mixed over there with you guys. Flat earth or round?
Round.
Round? Okay. I'm not talking to a crazy person. Um, how do you pronounce your last name?
Rezendes. A lot of
Rezendes.
people pronounce it Rezendes, and I don't correct them.
Is that Italian?
It's Portuguese, actually.
Portuguese. Okay. So
Yeah.
who's Portuguese in your family?
My dad is Portuguese and my mom is Italian.
Okay. Wow. Nice mix.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have and you picked Italian food?
I did. Yeah. It's because my mom's side is like more of the people who cook in my
Mhm.
family. Like, I don't usually have traditional Portuguese food, so that's why.
Okay. Um, Stephanie Rezendes, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me and for saying my last name right.
That's why I asked first because I refused to butcher it, and you know it wouldn't have done anyone justice. Would have made me look stupid, and yeah, thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.